Autistic people of Reddit, what do you wish more people knew about autism? 99% of representations are absolute bullshit. If you really want to know how to deal with an autistic person, ask the autistic person. It's so easy. And preferably ask 50 of us because the symptoms can wildly differ from a person to another. 2. I once heard if you've met one autistic person, then you met one autistic person. I think that summarizes that perfectly. None of us are the same. That's what makes it a spectrum. That most of us aren't the weirdest and incapacitated mumblers you usually think. And since it's a spectrum, I can only talk about myself since it's so different for every single other autist. In fact, I am like, really close to being considered normal, medically called neurotypical, which will be further addressed as NTs. But I do falter in my social interaction skills. Your basic ability to get subtle hints for okay I'm going to leave the conversation or I really don't know what you're talking about nor do I care is my downfall. I really have to try hard to get these intricacies. It gets exhausting, and when I fail at it, I feel like crap. Oh yeah, also I feel emotions at like 11 times the strength as NT people's. So I feel anxiety way harder than a NT. Like I barely make the first move or approach someone because to me, I think I'd look super desperate and creepy. But there are plus sides. I do have a one-track mind for sure. So I can use that to cut the crap and get exactly what needs to be done finished. So when I want to write music, I can just shoot music out of my brain. I am learning drums, bass, and guitar, so I can write all of those. I just wish people didn't think of autism as a disability. It's an effect sure, but not a disability completely. I try and change their perception by telling people I'm autistic, Asperger's syndrome, after a while in passing jokes, so they can see the funny in this effect. For fuck's sake my real name on PSN is Gran Autismo Sport. Anyways, have a good one and no it's not bad to act a little autismo every once and again lol. We are as diverse as neurotypicals, but simply our thinking pattern is a bit different. You don't recognize us on streets because autism doesn't affect our looks. You notice it once you start interacting with us. Just like you wouldn't recognize a left-handed person until they start writing or doing other activities with their hand. Edit. Something I want to add after reading a question about isn't autism by definition not normal I replied to the person with this. The word autism comes from the Greek word autos, which means self. It describes conditions in which a person is removed from social interaction. In other words, he becomes an isolated self. It's actually something I wanted to add to my original comment is that people say, we struggle socially, but no, we are fine being alone and less social. What we really struggle with are overstimulations, which are the causes for our meltdowns. Every case is different. You can't just assume it's the same with every person. It feels like everyone thinks people like us are just all socially awkward, but it can be a lot more than that. For example, I have quite mild Asperger's syndrome and to most people I seem like everyone else, but I've met people with more severe cases that can't even speak and need constant help. Never assume every person with autism is the same. It's kind of hard depending where an autistic person is on the spectrum. So for example, if you encounter an autistic person that has problems with socializing, don't consider them as this antisocial person who wants to be left alone. Because they probably might want people to hang out with. They are just too shy when it comes to asking. Or at least, that's what happened to me. Same here. I feel like I'm being creepy when I talk to people. Even commenting this is very awkward for me to do. How did you all find out you have autism? A lot of these random phobias and quirks being described here are things I experience and I'm kind of a loner. But also can on the flip side be outgoing, talkative and funny when in certain scenarios when I'm with friends and comfortable and I feel like I'm really good at reading people's emotions and minor indicators in conversations. But I also have generalized anxiety disorder, very minor OCD and am introverted. I mean I heard my mum talking about it when I was young, and she's a behavioral therapist and used to work in a special needs school so she knows about developmental disorders like autism. And then when I was about 14 I saw a little checklist online about symptoms, and I matched nearly all of them. The way you say you read people's emotions makes me inclined to err on the side of caution. From my experience, most autistic people have to actively learn how to read people, and even then it's like a tourist speaking broken English.
Hey, what's up everyone? OKPJ here. Thanks for watching my video. If you didn't hate it, give it a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe if you want to see videos like this every single day, and I'll see you tomorrow.